Hey everybody, it's Zach Tech, and I have a pretty serious topic I want to talk about here. So, we probably all saw the awesome 35th anniversary of Mario Direct. I remember waking up, I was pretty dozy, like just got out of bed, and Sky9 comes yelling, saying, "Zach, you gotta come see this." And I said, "What do you want? I'm tired." And then he said, "Well, if you don't want to see the Mario 35th Direct, well, then that's a you thing." I was like, wait, what? It actually happened? So, yeah, that came to a bit of a shock to me that they were actually, that actually happened. I didn't think that would. Anyway, so what I want to talk about is the last announcements. See, most of the announcements were pretty good. I really want to get that Game & Watch with the Mario screen, and I want to play the Mario 35. That seems really fun. Anyway, I'm kind of getting off topic here. The last thing that they announced was not 3D World Deluxe, but they did announce that, and Switch Stop was insane. Anyway, so the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection. I didn't think it would happen, to be honest, because of our recent world situations. Things were behind, but we're still getting it. However, it wasn't as good as I was hoping. So, the day that Direct came out, I recreated the trailer in both Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine. I didn't do Galaxy, I don't really like it. Hot take, I don't really like Mario Galaxy. Wow. However, GameXplain uploaded their Mario 64 comparison, while I was halfway gathering footage, and I was like, shoot. Anyway, you're gonna watch this, my version, while I'm talking, because that way I can get people to watch it. Why don't you take a look?
It's me,
what do you notice,
Mario.
Besides the poor VCR quality lines, scan lines, and blacking out? That was just due to how my take's kind of old. What do you notice?
Bye-bye. It's me, Mario.
The answer should be nothing, really. There's no difference. To an extent. So, the one thing I first noticed, when I was first watching the Direct, and they were showing off Mario 64 pulling on the mustache, it was like, oh, please turn HD, Tetra Bit Gaming, if you saw his reaction. And then I noticed that's at Press Plus at the bottom, in the Mario 64 kind of pixelated fonts. It's like, oh shoot. This is what the HUD, if you will. I could tell that was sharper, and they were actual, round surfaces rather than pixels making the fonts. I did notice that. But I'd say that was the biggest difference. If you watch any real comparison video, that's what they point out is the HUD. They don't really point out, anything else. So on the topic of what miffed me about the Direct with Mario 64 is everyone seemed to forget, while they were predicting the 3D All-Stars, that there's this little game called Super Mario 64 DS. And that was one of my first 3D Mario games, not gonna lie. Actually, I owned 3D Land, 3D World, then I owned 64 DS. Anyway, point is that came out, I think, 16 years ago, and no one seems to talk about it. The YouTuber Nintendo Land, with a 10 in the middle, he made the tweaks that he wanted, and a lot of the things he listed were fixed in the DS version. It kind of ticked me off. I was gonna make a video about it, but I decided, nah. Anyway, so they already had a better game, a remake of Mario 64. So expecting an HD version of 64 DS. So you can play as Luigi, Wario, Yoshi. But instead we got almost a port of the original N64 with no real graphical upgrade. It gets even worse with Sunshine, in my opinion. Sunshine still looks good. It was on the GameCube, and that was in that era of when games are starting to look realistic. And so there's a few touch-ups that could be done, but really it's not. It doesn't look bad, so I saw the HUD, I could see Flood looked a little sharper and the lives were a little better. That was about it. I couldn't really notice anything about the gameplay. In fact, I thought that I saw Rico Tower and I thought, hey, those bricks they look the exact same. They look like a flat texture added to a corner. And I think I'm right. I mean, I recreated the footage. So I played all those scenes in the game. I also heard that it still runs at 30 frames per second. Now again, I'm not one to talk. I record with a VCR. What do I know about 60 frames a second, right? But it is kind of annoying that they didn't even upgrade that. They did upgrade to 16:9, I'll give them that. But you guys still haven't decided on my Sunshine walkthrough whether you want it in 16:9 or 4:3. I can do both, okay? Well, not both at the same time, but I could do either, okay? Please choose. No one's voted yet. Come on, guys. I need your opinion here. If I do get that Mario 3D All-Stars, which you know I probably will, I still wouldn't record on that because I would have to run it through the VCR, and you know how Switch games look through a VCR. Just look at my Luigi's Mansion 3, 1 hour of that. You know what? Lots of shameful plugs in this video. Okay. We gotta roll along to Mario Galaxy. So this one I didn't investigate. Because, again, hot take, I don't like Galaxy that much. But that doesn't change the fact that I still didn't really notice a difference. However, people noted that it was in 60 frames per second. Also for Galaxy, I noticed no difference. For 64, I could notice a few things. Sunshine, even fewer things. I couldn't notice a single thing with Galaxy. It looked the exact same. I even watched a comparison. It looks the same in my opinion. Of course, I use a Windows 7, not a Windows 8. So, am I one to talk? I don't know. I'm just saying, my personal opinion rather, Galaxy on the Switch looks identical to Galaxy on the Wii. However, the reason why I think that Mario Galaxy is the only one in 60 FPS is because if you remember, I think 2 years back, in China, they lifted their video game ban. Why am I telling you this? It'll make sense later. There's this company called NVIDIA. They released their console, the Shield, the NVIDIA Shield, and Nintendo agreed to license some of their Wii games to be put on there, despite the Switch being out and the Wii U shortly being discontinued. This was because China never got to experience the Wii era of games. So they ported games such as Mario Kart Wii, and they brought back the online. Hot take. Not hot take. I'm kind of jealous, because I never got to play Mario Kart Wii online. But among those games was Super Mario Galaxy. And the NVIDIA Shield is a HD system that displays 60 FPS. So I have the feeling that they took the NVIDIA file and plopped it onto the Switch because they're the same era and then translated it. It is possible I'm wrong and they did upscale the original Galaxy edition. But I mean, if you already had the game in HD running at 60 frames per second, why wouldn't you just copy and paste that? I guess is it harder to translate? Because I would think it'd be easier to translate and change the text in the game and to recreate the game again, but in English. I mean, they're gonna have to do it for every language too, like Spanish, French, whatever. Going back to 64 for a second, did you catch that clip at the end?
Bye-bye.
This may not sound like much, but if you think about it, and if you watch Nintendo's video, you will know that that line was not in the original Super Mario 64. It was added in the DS version, but it's also implemented sooner than that. It was implemented in Japan's exclusive Super Mario 64, the Shindo Edition, which it also translates to Rumble Pack Edition, so that means that you could use your Rumble Pack on Super Mario 64. It came out a year later, but by then Nintendo noticed a few glitches, and they also added a few phrases, like bye-bye. So that's why that line's there. But the fact that that line's there means that they ported the Shindo Edition, most likely. And again, this is kind of the same thing with how I said you could plop China's version of Galaxy and translate it again. You could plop Japanese version of 64, the Shindo Edition, and then translate that. The one problem here is that I know someone who wanted to get into Mario 64 speedrunning, but he doesn't own a Nintendo 64. He owns a 3DS, but you know, he wants to do like the backwards long jump and stuff like that. The problem is that the Shindo Edition patched out the backwards long jump. It does not work. So, if they ported the Shindo Edition, speedrunners aren't going to be too happy. Now, we're just going to translate out of the game itself. I've already ranted enough about how I think there wasn't enough effort put into this port, but I mean, who am I to talk? I don't program for the most part. You don't know. Let's talk about the game's retail release. So, first off, I just want to say, box art's pretty good. Now let's move on. If you notice, almost everything in the Direct, except 3D Deluxe, 3D World Deluxe, and that Mario Kart Live RC racing thing, you'll see that almost everything is a limited time release or offer. And I don't know how I feel about this. So, first we got the Game & Watch, and it discontinues like November 12th or something. You can no longer buy it. Super Mario 35, after March 11th, I think, it's taken off the Nintendo Switch Online, which I don't understand because that seems like a good enticer to get Nintendo Switch Online, which we still know is not really that good. Sorry, but to just go on a brief tangent, I'm glad they put Super Mario All-Stars on the SNES Online. I was actually predicting that. I know that I never made a video on it, but just trust me here, I was thinking, yeah, Nintendo's probably going to put All-Stars onto the SNES. I think that was a good move. It is kind of weird how you do have the NES game still, and you even have the Lost Levels available on that. So it is kind of weird how All-Stars is on there. But, I mean, it is there. I'm glad that I have the option now. Tangent over. So, I don't see why they take Super Mario 35 off of online if that would entice people to get it. Okay, so let's move on. So, I mean, both of those things, Super Mario 35 and Game & Watch, they're kind of novelty, right? Like, Game & Watch is commemorating not only Super Mario Brothers, but also the Game & Watch brand. I can see why that could be a limited release. Super Mario 3D5, I don't know why. Like, you put all that work into coding the game, and then you just take it off. I mean, it's digital, right? So, it's not like you're paying for it. It's Super Mario 3D All-Stars that's really ticking me off. And that is because that's a limited release. And here's why I think it is. as I've already said, I've ranted for the last couple minutes about how I don't think that those remakes were quite up to quota or standard that we were accustomed to. I always compared Super Mario 64 to a Super Mario Odyssey mod that I saw a long time ago, probably in 2017, 2018, where someone had put Bob-omb Battlefield into Super Mario Odyssey, and it looked awesome. I've seen they remake the game again, which I don't think they ever will, because, I mean, we have the DS version. Why would Nintendo remake a game twice? I was greatly disappointed on 64 for sure. It's still in 4:3 ratio. Sunshine, I'm glad it's in 16:9, and same with Galaxy. Even though Galaxy, if you run it through a Wii U, or it kind of does that, so that wasn't a really wow thing. The thing is, I've already ranted about all that. And I bet a bunch of other people are also ranting about that too, wouldn't you think? Second guess about buying those 3 games again. I own all 3 of those games, guys. 64 game, Sunshine on the GameCube, and Galaxy on a Wii. So why should I buy the straight same thing again? With almost no added features. I guess I forgot to talk about the music player, but I mean, why? It doesn't seem like enough to entice me. I think Nintendo more did that. Another argument for another day. How they banned a bunch of Nintendo Music channels, with the half-hour extensions. This kind of does feel like a replacement, and in that case it kind of somewhat justifies that decision. Not by much. So I'm thinking that a lot of people were kind of miffed when they saw the trailer, saying, oh, 64 still looks like it did in 96 and all these things, but then Nintendo's like, maybe they won't like it, but we'll make it limited. What does this do? Well, if you know anything about sales, you will know that there's the main driving point of determining the price is the amount and the demand. If the price goes up, it's because lots of demand for a limited product, usually. Why am I saying this? Well, by making Mario 3D All-Stars a limited edition product, if you don't pick it up by March 31st, or whatever the date is, Nintendo will no longer ship copies to your GameStop or EB Games, Walmart, whatever. No, I don't think your employees are going to confiscate it March 31st. That's the last day, then April 1st they throw it in the back of the room and destroy it in the furnace. I don't think that's going to happen. But that's their last shipment. So after that point, what they have in the store is what they have. They don't have anything else after that point. And then they'll take it off the eShop. Nintendo will take that game off the eShop. So that will be a direct pluck off the eShop. So the problem with this is that as a retro gamer, I use buy and sell sites all the time to get some of the used retro stuff, right? So I do know, GameCube games right now are really expensive. Why is this? Because limited supply, but there's lots of demand for them right now. Once there is no more copies that are being sold from a retailer of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, they'll go onto the used market, right? And collectors are going to say, hey, this is limited. That means we can charge more for it. And because it just got discontinued, there's probably some people who are still like, oh, we better buy this. There's still going to be some people who are excited for it, and they just saved up their allowance or something just to get it, and it's no longer in stores. So you're going to look on eBay, and then you're going to see, instead of selling the game for an $80, you're going to charge $120. Why that much? Because there's now a said limited quantity of this game. Now, the thing is that I think Nintendo knows this. People aren't going to pay $120 for the game. They know that they're not going to do that. So they're going to make sure that they buy it for $40 cheaper, right? So, if that's the case, if they make it limited, they know that'll rack up the sales faster because people want the game for cheap. And that's kind of a bad business decision. I hope that they don't go about this even more in the upcoming future. But for the time being, I really don't like this. Because these games, not all people have access to play them. Because I'm kind of lucky, because like I said, I own the original systems and I own the games. And I got it all for relatively cheap. So I'm one of the very few of this generation, who get to play the games. Most of my generation, they wouldn't have the technology. Like, they might have Mario Galaxy, and you could get 64 and Galaxy on the Wii shop, but that's, again, a different topic. But this is one of their first times to play these games, and Nintendo is saying no. What I think that they're hoping is that they'll be able to make up all their sales by Christmas, because it's coming out this September, like in just a few weeks from making this video. So they probably are gonna reap quite a profit, because there's gonna be lots of people who see YouTubers who are playing Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. They're like, I want to play those games too, and then they look and see, oh, I can't play this. Well, how am I gonna play it? Oh, I'll buy the Switch one. And so then they'll probably get it for Christmas, right? So that's a lot of the money that Nintendo's probably gonna make. Sorry for making this rant so long. I'm just am pretty annoyed that of the lackluster quality that Nintendo is putting these remakes out in. I can't really suggest any alternatives because I can't get the DS version of 64 anymore, but I would say that is probably going to be the better version, even if it has weird controls. Anyway, so thank you for watching this very long, ranty video on Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button down below, and remember to support us on Brighteon.com, okay? We're there too, and we need your help. We need to get a certain amount of views to upload more videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And if you want more Sunshine before the 3D All-Stars comes out, because you might need help being Sunshine,
Don't bother to speak up.
Don't bother to speak up, okay? Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.